All right, so for this distance formula worksheet, and the back side will be the midpoint formula, right? So let's start with the distance formula. So if you have a distance, you're going to go ahead and make a triangle out of it. It doesn't matter if it's below or above. I made the one that's this triangle right here. This one I'm making it's below the line, but again, it doesn't matter. So if I want to find the length of that line, specifically the length of this line right here, from there to there, I gotta make a triangle. Count how many, count how long the length and the width of the triangle is, and you're gonna utilize the Pythagorean theorem. So you're gonna start off with a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? And the side lengths are going to be the a and the b. So in this case, we have 7 squared plus 6 squared. That's going to equal c squared. Okay, don't get confused. That's a b, and this is a 6. So you're going to go ahead and figure out what 7 squared is, and that's going to be 49. You're going to add it to it, and you're going to figure out what 6 squared is, and that's going to be 36. And that's going to equal c squared. So we've been practicing this a little bit in class, so you guys should not have issues with it. And I'm going to add 49 and 36 together, and that's going to make 85. And that's going to equal c squared. Right, now, the way to get rid of that square on the c is to square root it. So you have to square root 85. So that square root and the square is going to cancel each other, and you're just going to end up with c. Now, so on your calculator, you just have to figure out what square root of 85 is. So on my calculator, I'm just going to turn it on, and you're going to do a square root like that of 85. Okay, and it's going to hit enter. That's going to tell you it's about 9.2. So your C is 9.2. You want to write more numbers? You can write more numbers. So the length of that line is going to be 9.2. That's all you have to do to use the distance formula. So the distance formula is basically just a Pythagorean theorem um, to find out how long the distance of each line is. Now, some of these lines, you don't have to use a distance formula. For example, this line right here, right? If it's from here to here, since it's vertically up and down, you can just count. Okay, so I won't count that for you, but you'll let you do it. And another one, if you have it horizontally, left and right, you could just count. You don't have to use the distance formula or the diagram theorem for that. Okay, now on the back side, right, we have this midpoint. Okay, we want to find the midpoint between the line. Now again, if it's vertical, okay, you can find out where the middle is pretty easily. It'd be about right there, right? So you got to figure out the point. So whatever that point is, okay. But I'll actually show you a harder one. So the second one, number 14, you're going to use a midpoint formula. And now midpoint formula basically is just an average of the points. So for example, you're going to start off with the average of the x's. So you're going to take x, the first x, and you're going to add it to the second x. Okay, and then you're going to divide it by 2. So that's how you find the average of the x's. And then you're going to do the same thing for the y. You're going to take the y's, and you're going to add them together, and then you're going to divide it by 2 to get the average of the y's. And that's your midpoint formula. All right, so let's just look at number 14, and let's look at the points. So the point for this is going to be that point and that point. And we want to find the midpoint, or where the middle is. Okay, so you have to find, so you have to look at what the point is. So that first point is going to be 0 comma -1, and that second point right there is going to be, and I'll put it right here, 2 comma 0. Okay, and you're going to utilize that. So when it says x1 and x2, that means that we're talking about the first x and the second x. Okay, we're talking about those two x's. All right, so we're going to use those two x's, and we're going to add them together. So it's really going to be 0 plus 2, okay, or 2 plus 0. And you're going to divide it by 2, and that will give you your x coordinate. Okay, the second one, you're gonna use the y's because this is the first y and the second y. So the first y is -1, and the second y is 0. So you're gonna add -1 and 0 together, okay, or 0 and -1. It doesn't matter the order. So you're gonna add them together. So 0 plus a -1. You're gonna add them together and you're gonna divide it by 2. Okay? And by doing that, you're gonna add 0 and 2 together. You're gonna get 2 divided by 2. You're going to add 0 and -1 together to get -1 divided by 2. Okay? And to work that out, and that's going to end up giving you 1, because 2 divided by 2 is 1. And -1 divided by 2 is going to be -1/2. Okay? Or you can call it -0.5 if you like. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and stick with 1 comma -1/2. All right? And that would be the midpoint. So if I was to click on, or if I was to graph that 1 comma -1/2, okay, that's going to be, so 1 would be out 1 and the -1/2 would be right here. So it would end up right there, and that would be the midpoint. All right? So I'll leave the rest for you guys. Good luck on that though.